Well, hello, Divi Nation. Welcome to a brand new Divi use case live stream where each week we show you how you can add new design and functionality to your Divi websites. And I'm excited today because we get to show you how we can add reusable Divi layout blocks for your Gutenberg blog posts. That's what we're going to be doing today. This is highlighting the new feature that Divi just released not too long ago, the Divi Layout Blocks, which works with Gutenberg, the default WordPress block editor. So we'll get started here in a moment, and don't forget to check out the video description for more information on this use case. Click on that link to the blog post that goes along with this live stream, and that will help you out. All right, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. All right, make sure and give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And if I'm coming in loud and clear on the live stream here, it'll help me out a lot. Okay, welcome, Uncle Social. Lisan, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Hello. Uncle Social wants my shirt. All right, well, I don't know how I'll get it to you, but I'll think about it. All right, loud and clear. Thank you, guys. We're gonna jump in here in a moment, get started. So feel free to ask any questions here in the chat, and hopefully I'll get to them. All right, so right here, what I have open is basically a blog post that I'm editing in the backend in the default WordPress block editor here. And this can be for any post. I'm just simply, it looks like I have, if I switch, let me go ahead and switch to, go back here. So I can go to any post here, and this is just in case some of you are a little bit confused, we're not going to be using the Divi builder in the traditional sense for building out a blog post. We're going to be using the default WordPress block editor, aka Gutenberg, and we're going to use the Divi layout block, which is something is like any other block you can use to build out your blog post. This is something that Divi has created recently that allows you to inject any Divi layout into your Divi blog post. So that's what we're going to do today. So if I go and edit this blog post here, all right, so I can click on, it doesn't look like I am seeing my I want to see my, there it is. Okay, I was hiding my settings in the sidebar here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is, just some mock content here for a blog post. And of course, when you hover over any of these blocks, this is a couple of paragraph blocks here, a heading block. And if I hover over it, you can see I can add a block. So I'm going to do that. And we have this new, if you have Divi installed and active on your website, you'll see that we have a Divi layout block available. So I'm going to click on that. What that's going to do is give me the option to build a new layout or load one from the Divi library that you have. We're going to build a new one. So I'm going to click build new layout. And actually before I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to build it first. Then I'm going to show you how you can create a reusable Divi layout block. So you can really make any block reusable, but I'm going to show you how you can do this with the Divi layout block to kind of help the workflow of your blog posts. So that's where we're going. So if you're just joining us, we're going to be showing you how to add or create a reusable Divi layout block. Yes, Divi layout block. All right, here we go. I'm building a new one from scratch. It's going to deploy my Layout Block editor here, and this is basically your Divi builder, building it on the front end, just like you would in any page or post. And so I have the freedom to do anything and everything I would want using the Divi builder here. I'm just going to keep it simple for this illustration. Since it is going to be a reusable Divi layout block, it's awesome for things like design features. Like for this example, I'm just going to create a section divider, which will be nice to add as you're writing your blog post and you want to add, a decorative little divider that's, more custom designed than the built-in separator block that's available within the default WordPress blocks. But this is great for design elements like that because it's reusable, and when you update the design for a reusable layout block, it will update site-wide for all those instances of the reusable layout block that you have on your blog. All right, I hope that makes sense. It will make more sense, I promise, in a little bit. So let's go ahead and right now we're just designing our little divider. I'm going to open up my section settings and I'm going to add a background gradient to my section. So the first thing I'm going to do is give it a color here. So I'm going to copy in my colors. Let's do the left color. Let's paste that one in here. All right. It's kind of like a light purple there. Going with the soft colors for this example. All right. I'm going to make it a linear. And let's make the gradient direction 90 degrees. So it goes from left to right. And I want my start position to be about 30 because I want more of that purple in there. Okay. And it looks good. Let's continue on. And I want to add a divider. So basically, I'm just using a section with a gradient background and a top and bottom divider as a design element to separate content on my blog post. So it's just kind of a creative way to use a section as a design feature. So let's make a top divider here, and I'm going to use this divider style. I am going to make it white. If your blog posts have a different background color, you'll probably want to use a color that matches that one. So I'm just going to use white since our blog post content is going to be white. And let's go ahead and make a divider height. Let's give it 50 pixels. And let's do the same for the bottom. So I'm going to give it a bottom divider here as well, matching style there. Same color, white. Let's give it 50 pixels in height. Of course, you can make it as high as you want it to be. And then I'm going to switch it up here on the horizontal. I'm going to flip it a little bit. All right, and I'm going to give my section now a custom height because I do want to set, go to my sizing here, give it a height of 100 pixels. So now it's nice and thin and will fit nicely, within a blog post. Let's take out the default padding for our section here. Just take it out, set it to 0 at the top and the bottom. And let's go ahead and click save here. And just like you would any other Divi layout, you'll want to save it. And it's going to automatically exit for you when you click save here. That's why it says save and exit. Can't really see it because my head's in the way. But down here at the right, bottom right, you'll see that there's a save and exit button, just like normal. And then it's going to plop that divider in there really nicely. And of course, I would have to, I could go in and make my, font look better and, maybe fit the design of this little divider here. This is just a simple example of what you can do with these reusable Divi layout blocks. But I'm not limited to one section. I could do two sections. I could combine. I can add another actual divider module if I wanted to divide up my section here. There's a whole lot you can do with Divi, as you probably already know. And let's go ahead and, as you can see, this is my layout block here. Now what we are going to do is make it reusable. So what is a reusable layout block? And you might be wondering, why do we need to even be using, why are we even using the default WordPress editor, the Gutenberg, at all? Why don't we just use Divi to design your blog post? Well, the answer to that is it's really up to you. There are many people that, or many clients that you may have that love to work in the simplicity of the backend using the default WordPress block system. Maybe that's something they're used to. And this will allow you to add some design features, give them more power by adding the Divi elements to this default WordPress block editor. Or it's just a whole lot more convenient, especially for a blog specifically, to use this to, type out your content and then use Divi for maybe your blog post template design and things like that. Well, this will allow you to inject Divi design elements, or really anything, any Divi layout you want, into the actual content of the post. So it's just a convenient way to use the Divi builder with your default Gutenberg blog posts. So I hope that kind of shows you or explains a little bit of the reasoning behind why we have a Divi layout block to begin with, and how helpful it can be for you and your clients, things like that. But a reusable block is basically a lot like in Divi. If you're familiar with Divi, how we have the global defaults, or really a global element. You can make any element global. You can save it to your Divi library as a global element. And what that does is allow you to add that element throughout your site. And since it's a global element, if you update one instance of that global element, it will update all instances automatically throughout your site. So it's a convenient way to make site-wide updates to an element when you make it a global element. The same idea goes for reusable blocks in Gutenberg. So you have this option here. If I click on my block and click on my settings menu, and let me kind of zoom in here, you can see how I have the option here to add to reusable blocks. And what this is going to do is not only save it as a reusable block, but it'll also, make it available to the list of blocks whenever you're adding a new block in your blog post. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to add it to reusable blocks. It's going to prompt me to give it a name. So let's call it, I don't know, section divider Divi reusable block. All right. And then I want to save it. So I'll click the save button there. And now you'll see I have a little bit more height to my block here. And if I ever wanted to go in and edit, now once it's a reusable block, I simply have to click on it and click this edit button. Then you can go in and do whatever you want to edit the reusable block. But right now it is a reusable block, so I want to update my blog post so it saves it. And let's just go ahead and view the post, the live post here. All right, so there's my divider block, or my reusable Divi layout block with my divider design. And let's go ahead and create another one. Go back and edit the post. And I'm going to duplicate this one. So let's go ahead and duplicate. Actually, that is nice to be able to duplicate, but I'm going to remove that. And I'm actually going to show you how it is available. Let's just go ahead and add another one right underneath here. So I'm going to add a new block. And as you can see, it already has it available here for me, a section divider Divi reusable block. But if it's not there, you can find it under the option tab, or this reusable toggle tab here called reusable. And then it has all the ones that you have saved in there. And so if I wanted to add it, I can simply click on it, and they're nice and convenient. And it's going to automatically match up with the one that I built originally. It's the same exact block, and it's going to be the same throughout all instances throughout this blog post and also throughout the site. So Raquel is sending me a happy birthday message. Thank you, Raquel. I appreciate that. It is my birthday. It is, I am not 40 yet. I still have one more year. But thank you. I appreciate it. Uncle Social has a nice comment saying he takes the Ghostbusters approach to WordPress blog posts. Don't cross the streams. I don't want to confuse clients, basically, after handing off and mixing Gutenberg and Divi. So I keep it pure Gutenberg. I understand. And that does make a good point. Obviously, it's not going to be the best fit for everyone, but it is there if you need it. And today I'm showing you how you can use it if you want it. All right. So yes, it's not that confusing once they understand what a Divi layout block can do. All right. So we've added two. By the way, if you're just joining us, welcome to this week's Divi use case live stream. Today I'm showing you how you can create a reusable Divi layout block in Gutenberg for your blog posts here. And right now what we've done so far is we've created a reusable block here using a Divi layout block, and we created a section divider as a design element. And then we added it in multiple places in our blog post. And now if I save my page here, and let's refresh the live page, you can see how it's the same on both, right? In both places. And as you might expect, if I edit this one, let's go ahead and click on the edit button. And let's click on, now you can see that this kind of outer box here is kind of the reusable block, which, you know, you can add multiple blocks within it. We only have a Divi layout block here. So I'm going to have to click on that to edit it. And when I click on my Divi layout block, you'll notice I have the option to click this little edit pencil icon here to edit the layout, or I can click this button over here under the block options on the right side to edit the layout as well. So let's go in there. It's going to deploy the Divi builder in the, and here's a little confusing thing that might throw you off. And it's really only for this example. Because I don't have any content, I just have a section with some colors. It's wanting me, it's not recognizing any content on the page, so it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna click on choose a pre-made layout and exit out of it. It's gonna be right there. But you don't have to build it from scratch. If you are doing this tutorial and want to do this exact same layout and you don't want to be confused, you can add a divider module in there in this row and just make it transparent or whatever. That way Divi will recognize it as content. So Anyways, let's get back to it. We have the section here. I'm gonna give it a little edit here. So I'm editing a reusable Divi layout block here. And let's just kind of change up the colors. So go back. All right. So I'm just changing up the colors so you can see how it updates not only this one, but all instances of this Divi layout block. I'm going to save it. It's going to automatically exit out. And there it is. And watch this. Oh no, it is not updated yet. That is because I didn't click this save button here. So I'm going to save it. You got to make sure and save the reusable layout block. Even though I saved my Divi layout block, I didn't save the reusable block that it's in kind of embedded in. So save that. Let's see if it updated. Not yet, because I need to update the posts. All right. And look, see, it's not working. All right. Oops. Here we go. Let's refresh our live page here. And there you go. It has updated it site-wide here. I'm just going to refresh. I bet I just have to refresh my blog post here just to see it changed on the actual block here. Yeah, and there it is. Okay, so it's going to update it automatically. So that's kind of the functionality behind the kind of using the Divi layout block with the reusable block option in Gutenberg. All right, let's see if we got any more questions here. Uncle Social says, happy birthday, babyface, Jason. Okay. All right, as a gift, I will send you a picture of me wearing your Divi t-shirt if you post it to me. Nice. Thank you. Are these reusable blocks saved into the Divi library as well, or just saved within Gutenberg's reusable block library? Good question. The answer is the latter. If you want to, it will be saved to the Gutenberg reusable block library, not automatically into your Divi Divi library. And of course, if you, I haven't tested it out, but I'm sure you could create a global section or whatever, and then add maybe a global section into the Divi layout block, and maybe update it another way in the back end, and it will update. But I don't know. So some inception stuff happening there, but this is a kind of a helpful way if you're used to using the the Gutenberg blocks. Good question. I'm just checking over here, making sure I didn't miss anyone. All right. Thanks, Daryl, for the comment. If you're 39, you're in your 40th year. All right. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Any questions about this so far? I do want to show you one other tip you can use when using reusable blocks with Divi layout blocks. Let's see. And that's basically using it as a kind of like a template. So it would be cool, for example, if you have this, divider element here, but maybe you want to add something else to it, like, I don't know, add some text right there and make it like a step one kind of thing. Break up your content with different steps, like for a recipe, things like that. Well, since it's a reusable block, you don't want to save a specific text element in there, because if you edit that text element, it's going to change it site-wide, right? So, but what you can do, let's say, is I want to add another one here. Let's just add one right here. I'm going to add another reusable layout block, and I'm going to edit it this time. Oh, I'm sorry. No, instead of editing the reusable block, what I'm going to do is click this option here. I'm going to zoom in. There you go. It says convert to regular block. So it's basically a way, kind of using it as a jumping off template for something, you know, more specific you want to add to this instance. So I can just convert it to a regular block. And now I have the same design, but now I can add stuff to it without it affecting the other reusable layout blocks. And so it's kind of like a helpful way to add. Maybe you have a template for adding, you know, a heading design or something like that throughout your blog posts, and you can just, you know, convert it to a regular block in each instance and then give it a new heading. Kind of speed up the process there. I can go in and edit this and actually give it some content here. Maybe add a heading, or make it like something like step 1 or something. All right, let's center that and, you know, make it large or something. You get the idea. And then that could be like your custom, you know, heading or whatever for your section. And then you save it out. And then it's not going to affect your other blocks. So that's kind of a way you can use the reusable blocks as templates for your, you know, Divi layout blocks. So if you've ever stuck within a blog post and you don't want to resort to, you know, external CSS or, you know, adding classes to your blocks and going that route, and you want to use the Divi builder to add a design element, you can. All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks to everyone who, you know, posted in the chat and attended today. Hopefully this was helpful. And that's all I got for you this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe to our blog newsletter, our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and ring the bell in YouTube if you want to subscribe, and that way you'll get notified of any future live streams we'll be throwing at you. And please stay tuned for our next live stream, which should be this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern with the weekly WP Roundup with BJ Keaton. And also we'll be back here next Tuesday with another Divi use case live stream. So we look forward to that. Thanks again for watching, everyone. We sure do look forward to seeing